Yes, there was a story that I read and you chuckled. So that's the story we're going to take first. It says FG borrows 11.9 trillion naira in 30 months despite 15.8 trillion naira savings. Minister says reserves at 52.5 billion dollar, while GDP growth hits 3.89%. Now, amid these recoveries, why do we still borrow? It's alarming.
Okay. Number one, economics will always tell you that, quote unquote, borrowing. But because borrowing, it is in itself as a concept or phenomenon. It's not evil, it's not bad, it's not often. But like you were taught, they said the laws of economics say all other things being equal. So there are contingent factors. You know, what are the conditions contingent to the action, to the policy, to the principle? That is what matters. So, what has been our experience in our national financial management? We got to the point in the past where we have to go and beg for debt forgiveness. You know, during the first tenure of President Olusegun Obasanjo, Nigeria will have so accumulated debt overhang that we have to go to beg. And you remember that even after that husband, that there was this issue of Paris and London Club refund.
Yes.
And you saw the magnitude of the money, because somebody went down and said, no, how did we even come up to this level of... And I think it took him over 12 years to dig and do muckraking, legal muckraking job to find out that these things didn't add up. And he finally won the matter, and there was a huge refund that, you remember that time, after sharing of our location, they will share Paris Club refund. You know, that was, that effort was made by the senator now representing Delta North, you know, that time. So, what the concern of you see, when you go online now, you will see that the place, everyone will be buzzing with, you know, people airing different opinions, but the critics of the borrowing definitely higher, because people are talking from our past experience. Now, especially given the fact that this is the era we said that our economy, government earning is growing in leaps and bounds, you know, and we're having enough, all agencies are collecting money on behalf of the government, is saying we're exceeding targets, and yet we're borrowing. And yet we're borrowing. So, but again, it is in this area our government don't communicate with us.
Yes.
Because now, it is the federal government of Nigeria that is borrowing this money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is the federation that is going to pay. People have not come to the understanding between the federal government and the federation. You know, I was on a panel somewhere we were discussing. I said, don't tell me this the state governments are getting so much. Don't tell me that. Getting so much from where? If I get to my farm, if I send people to work in my farm, I pay for this cost of working in my farm, and at the end of the day, you'll be telling me that I'm getting too much. If I'm a member of the cooperative, a cooperative, you know, and I'm paying my subscription, I get my stocks and shares, and at the end of the day, when I get dividend, you tell me I'm getting so much.
Yeah.
Because that is what. So this FAC allocation we're saying, it is called federation account. But the federation account, how money goes into it, is determined only by the federal government.
Federal government, yes.
So it is what the federal government declares at the end of the day.
That is what we take.
Then, like the oil bearing states, they say we get 13% derivation. 13% of what? There is no state representative in where the metering is done, in where the loading is done. So we have a product. We have a product we go to extract. Let me say we have a quarry where we extract break stones, and both of us have it. We acquired it. You alone, you are the one managing it. I don't have any representative. My accountants are not there. My nobody is there.
I'm not saying.
Then at the end of the month, I depend on you to tell me this is the proxy.
What was generated.
And so we share by the sharing formula.
So it is what I declare.
It's what you declare.
To accept.
Yes.
Yes. And you cannot even contest it because you weren't there. You didn't follow the process. You have no say.
And the same thing, federal government will borrow money. At the end of the day, before we share this thing, they will say they have set us something into the square. They set us up to service them. We didn't borrow the money.
Yes.
We didn't jointly agree to borrow the money. When the money was borrowed, it was not shared. Okay, you take your part to go and do what you want to do in your state, and it is federal government. The federal government borrows the money, but the federation pays for it.
For it, yeah.
And because of the nature of what this thing was saying, nobody is going to be able to say it.
And that's why the citizens are bitter. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones, the citizens are the ones that will pay for this borrowed fund.
That is it.
Every day we keep hearing borrow, and then there is money set aside to pay. You pay back and you also borrow.
People don't understand. People don't. Most of the times, there are things you don't borrow to do. Most of the time, you don't. There are things you don't borrow to do. You use
internally generated funds.
You do it. You mileage it. As you generate, you do. As you generate, you do. Anything you borrow money to do must, in the shortest possible time, be able to repay it.
Yes.
It must be able to.
Point there, yes.
We said something in this on this sect when we were doing some analysis on a different level, and I said, if I borrow money, if I take a long-term loan, if I take loan to pay for my children's school fees, believing that when they start working, they will pay the loan.
Back.
They train themselves. They paid for their own education.
That's true.
That's what it means. I was only smart enough to front load the expenses to await for them. Then when they come up, they will have to pay for it. So sometimes, when you borrow to do certain things and take credit for it, it doesn't add up, economically speaking.
Yes, you're correct.
It doesn't add up, economically speaking.
Okay.
Because the first job of government is to manage the resources. You manage the resources and appropriate it to meet priority. Allocate it. Scale up. Everybody know about scale up preference. Everybody knows about that there will be always opportunity cost.
Cost, yes.
So that's how you have to prioritize.
All right. Mr. Borden, let's drop that conversation there and move quickly to this story concerning the 2027 polls. We know election is around the corner. We are almost in 2027, believe it or not. Now, security threats, draft peace accord. Security threats, draft peace accord. Now, when security threats, such as insurgency, organized banditry, and violence when they are driven by actors outside the political party structure. How realistic is it to expect a political peace pact to deliver safe election in the state?
Okay, let me give you a little background.
Okay.
I think this this Nigeria, they call it Nigeria Peace Committee, led by Abu Salam Abubakar, Hassan Kokan, and the rest of it. They came up in 2015.
Okay.
I think the emergence was impelled by the level of the drums of war that were being beaten, especially from the north, over Jonathan going to run again. At the time, they felt that it was the turn of the north. That thing was spearheaded by men like Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. That it was the turn of the north, that they were not going to tolerate it. And the atmosphere was so charged, the threats were so high that Jonathan came out and said his re-election or his political ambition is not worth the blood of any citizen of Nigeria. So since then, we have always had peace accord. Okay. But let me ask you, and ask Nigerians, as the Coca Center that hosts the Peace Committee, have you ever seen their report detailing whether the peace accord signed were adhered to or not? Because I have not
seen
any. So, fine. Who is that well-meaning citizen who will not, align with and support the idea that anything that have to make us have free, fair, and violent-free elections? Of course, there is no well-meaning citizen who will not do that.
Yes.
But when we do something that's significant as that, something that's supposed to carry weight as that, when we manage it in such a way that people just laugh it over as a ritual,
over it, yes.
It makes no sense. So people just come and sign and go back to do what they like. And the people who are so pivotal in advocating for this peace appears indifferent. I mean, it doesn't make sense to like I think it was Moile Sowore who said that he will prefer justice pact,
yes,
justice accord to peace accord.
Peace accord.
Because there cannot be peace when there is no justice. There cannot be. You see, there are some that are, we when we're at the political tough, I mean, as the level at our country, especially when you're on live TV, when you're on public space and this thing, you try to pursue political correctness. You do those rhetorics, but that does not remove the objective reality. I'll give you an example. There are parameters set called the guiding rules and regulations of an election. And you see these rules and regulations brazenly and recklessly trampled upon an election, and you said, for the sake of peace, the victim should just accept it like that. It is easy to say in rhetoric, but in real human psychology, is it as easy as that to accept? But these are conversations, for the sake of the nation.
For the sake of peace.
And it repeats itself. Apart from those prosecutions, that's this in cases Mike Igini pursued. You remember Mike Igini when he was a resident electoral commissioner?
Yeah, commissioner.
Those professor, I think it was in one was Akwa, but one was in Cross Rivers. And have you ever seen any electoral violent offender
being prosecuted?
Being prosecuted more than those two people? Because somebody came out and said, and he said that the president at that time, President Jonathan, gave them, say, go ahead and do your work. So, look at what happened in Osho. Did you not sign peace accord? That was peace accord. How many days after the peace accord did the senator came and say what he said? That they should kill accord people. If you don't see them, kill their children, kill anything.
Imagine.
And he was coming to
nothing has been done about it.
You know.
Tell me why people will not come back.
He said that he didn't say kill them with their vote. Okay, if it's kill them with their vote, well, their children contesting election. Are you the only one that understands Yoruba language?
It's such a
because
pity.
word of the mouth, one has gone out, but it's again, it is from the abundance of the heart that the mouth speaks.
All right.
So why should we, if going to public office is to go and serve,
Yes.
then you want to kill people to go and serve them. So I mean,
drunken by power.
We should. The reality is this: there is no business anywhere in the world that pays like political office in Nigeria.
That's your opinion, though.
That is just the only reason behind. Let us reform. Let us do a political reform and make it impossible.
Okay.
For political office to become a place for the easiest access to
wealth generation.
Let us see whether we'll be killing during our elections.
You have a point.
Let us see whether we'll be killing. If it is just go there, get your fair remuneration for your office, and go home. And you are heavily under scrutiny. There are oversight. The oversight institutions are ironclad.
Yes.
And the accountability mechanisms are ironclad. When you are going into office, you declare your asset. When you are coming out, you check your net worth. With forensic thing, we do access tracing. And let us see whether anybody will kill to go and sit there.
Okay. Well, Mr. Bonny, you actually got me there, but truth be told, that is it. If only we can do that, we'll see that probably people will not even fight to sit in any political office.
No.
Okay, so let's just take this last paper before I let you go. And it's on the 2027 election. It says...
Election again.
Yes. It says Tinubu... No, not election. Sorry. Sorry. Tinubu approves EFCC's recovered loot, unclaimed dividends for students' loans. Now, critics argue that recovered loot should primarily serve federal budget deficit financing or infrastructure capital projects. Now, what makes the student loan? Why the student loan? What makes that loan scheme the most urgent recipient for these specific funds? Do you think there are other areas it should be allocated to instead of the student loan scheme? Okay.
We'll go there. That's another point. EFCC recovers money stolen from both from the federal government and from the subnationals.
Okay.
So, are we saying that every money recovered from EFCC automatically now belongs to the federal government. Like I have said before,
Yes, yes.
our people have not come to understand the difference between the federation and the federal government.
Yes.
They are two different things.
Then, yes.
All the federation is made up of the center and the federating units. That's the federation. So EFCC, by the funds, by the work, what do you call it? By the law, the philosophy and principles of the law enabling act. It is a national agency. It's not an agency of the federal government.
Yes.
It's a national agency. So if AFCC recovers money, I think it should go back to the federation account.
Okay.
Because
not to any sector.
Yes, or you identify the source where the money was looted from.
Okay.
And return to that source. So, for example, if money is looted from Delta State, send it back to Delta State government.
Yes.
And let Delta State government. If it's looted from Oshimile South local government, send it back to Oshimile South local government. Then they know what to use their money for. It is looted from the vision of the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the federal government. Send it back to the federal government.
Okay.
That's where it belongs.
Okay.
Then secondly,
okay.
You know, we talked about this education loan fund.
Yes.
Before. At the suffix, you say fine, but I will tell you, in our own lived experience, I am not one of those who support the loan scheme. That if I were president,
yes,
instead of giving loans that will never be recovered, because we know our leader, even in the United States with their system, they are not able to recover students' loans. Not to talk about our own extractive system, our own this entitlement that national cake, I must take my share. So today, one of the cost elements driving high costs in our tertiary institution is halls of residence, accommodation. True or false?
Sure.
So why not this money for this thing? Make sure that all government owned, as many, if not all, but maybe
majority,
build halls of residence where every student admitted into the universities will have decent accommodation at little or no cost.
Okay.
That one, nobody will, because the loan will never get to all the students. The loans will never get to all the students.
Yes.
But if you do a general thing that, like halls of residence, every student admitted
will benefit. Yeah, you're correct.
If you do, it's okay. The federal government is, if you have of course, it is the government that controls carrying capacity of university. Yes. So any UC should be able to know the number of students admitted. So across the year, said federal government pays 50% of the school fees or 30% of the charge fees for all the students. So you don't need to apply. So it becomes education subsidy.
Okay. Mr. Bonnie, I'm going to break you there. Our own encyclopedia. What did Francis call you? Professor?
Francis.
Okay, thank you so much. That was really a beautiful analysis. Assuming time would permit, would have gone further to other stories. But don't worry, next week, Thursday, is another day for you and I. Okay, thank you so much. And this is where we'll drop it on paper review. And we'll be going to our next sport after this break. Please stay with us.